Welcome to Bleav In 76ers with your hosts, former 76ers point guard Eric Snow and two Sixers fanatics in Marcus and Teja Dash. Bleav In 76ers is presented by BetOnline.AG.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. We've got a great new sponsor here at Bleav In 76ers podcast. And I got to say, I love betting with my friends on pretty much anything, sports, games, you name it. And that's what the Kutt App allows us to do. The Kutt App is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's legal in 40 plus states. Kutt has customizable odds, tracking capabilities, and an entire social network with group chats, user profiles, and rewards. And the best part is, all payments are on the app as well. No need for Venmo. So, to get started today, use our promo code BLEAV76ers. You can find that right there for a 10% welcome deposit bonus. And that promo code is BLEAV76ers, BLEAV 76ers. The Kutt App. Put your money where your mouth is. I look forward to seeing you on the app. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bleav In 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary 76ers point guard Eric Snow and my brother Teja Dash. Kind of a, since our last show, kind of up and down. I guess you could say somewhat up after our really gritty, like early 2000s, late 90s kind of win the other night against against the Knicks. So how's everyone doing, and what did you guys make of what we saw the other night?
I'm doing good. Hopefully everybody else as well. I mean, it's a win. Right now, that's what it's about. I don't care how ugly it is. If we win and it's beautiful, when we lose, what does that give you? Still an L. So yeah. I'm fine with the win. Yes, I want to play better, and I want the guys to do better, but the winning is very crucial right now, especially against a team you're competing with for seeding.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'll take a real victory over a moral victory any day of the week. So,
hell yeah.
It's just, it doesn't matter. In a month or two from now, no one's going to remember that game. They're just going to see a W in the score. So it doesn't really matter. Take them any way we can get them.
It did show some grittiness, though. You would think of a 79-73 type of game like that, if no one told you, like, Knicks play the Sixers and the winner won 79-73, you would think the winner of that game was the Knicks, not the Sixers, just based on the way those guys play, and they're gritty. They're more of a gritty team than we are with Tibbs and stuff, but the fact that we pulled out that victory at New York is pretty huge.
Yeah.
And that's
I mean, I think that when you look at it from a standpoint, like you said, with Tibbs, that's usually their brand of basketball. You know what I'm saying? And they win games like that. But I think just to win it, I mean, you right now, like I said, it's March, mid-March, whatever. It's only 20 so games or so. You have to get into a situation. Yeah, you get in a situation where it's like you just got to figure out a way. You figure out a way. You're not necessarily kind of worried about how during the game. I mean, you make a word about how, like, after the game, and try to correct some things. During the game, it's really about winning that particular game.
Yep.
Especially in the standings, because you got the top three teams that are kind of like jammed. Well, Milwaukee and Cleveland are kind of close, but then there's a gap, like a 4-game gap. And then the next, like, 3 teams are 4 teams, well, even 5, really. The 4 through 8 are pretty tight. They also, the 2 games separate all 4 of those teams. We just need to hold on to 6. You hold on to 6, face Cleveland in the first round, I'll be extremely happy.
Yeah.
Say that again. I mean, I couldn't hear the last thing you said.
I said hold on to 6 seed. That's our main goal. Hold on to 6. Face the Cavs in the first round. That's a huge win in my book. I'll be extremely happy with that.
Yeah.
So you okay with 6 now?
Oh man, I
You
play
don't want
at
that
night.
play. You don't want because the last time we talked, you wanted to play in and play the Cavs.
Well,
You wanted to go in the play in to play the Cavs.
well, that's cool. That's when the Cavs were playing pretty good.
They were
They were at 2. Yeah, that's right. They were at 2 then. Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
that's
seen
why
it
I
kind
was
of
like,
move around then.
man, the heck with the play in, man. Get secured, know your opponent, get ready to play a game, and you come on, man. Get ready to play a series rather instead of no. I don't like that one game stuff. It's fun to watch, but it's not fun to watch your team.
Yeah, no, that would not be
Especially
fun.
when you need rest, especially when like MB could use those extra whatever 2, 3, 4 days to just rest and get right. And if it works out perfectly, though, we get 6 and play the Cavs, even better.
Yeah. Diving more into the game from Sunday, because you had so much just obviously most Sixer fans were happy we got the win and pulled it out. But the one thing I'm seeing is our offense looks dismal. And then on the other hand, our defense looked great. Eric, I'm coming to you on this. You're the expert. When you saw the game on Sunday, was that more good defense or just bad offensive play?
I mean, that's because it's interesting because my son, my older son, asked me that same question. He was like, about the brand of basketball in the '90s, and I was like, I mean, even then, below 80-point game was really like average. You know what I'm saying? It was still below average. Mm-hmm. So the difference is back then it would have been more about how good the defense was, whereas now it's more about how bad the offense was. So I think you get in a situation where your shots aren't falling. It's a benefit for you if your shots aren't falling and you can still win the basketball game. That means that you aren't just basically pouting and just kind of letting it be because you aren't making shots. You're still finding a way on the defensive end, on the other end, to hold them, which still gives you a chance to win, even on the night when you don't shoot well. So that shows some character. That shows some toughness for you to go and win a game, especially on the road when you don't score 80 points. So, you had to be doing some great things all together, even if you didn't shoot well.
Tej, what stood out to you in that performance?
I think it was a combination of like showing pride after New York kicked our teeth in the last time we played. So we definitely came harder and tougher. You just see it. The way we grabbed loose balls, the way we were grabbing open rebounds, everyone was just grabbing like, arch rivals game, the Nintendo game from the early 90s, man. Just like grabbing it and like kind of shaking their elbow around a little bit every time they grab the ball. I also just don't think either team could put the ball in the hoop. When both teams shot the ball exactly 80 times, we made 31 buckets. They made 26. I mean, Knicks shot 32% from the field. Knicks shot 22% from 3. That is just abysmal. We shot 57% from free throws. Like that's rough, man. So it was just one of those circus rims where the rim was just the ball was bigger than the actual hoop itself, and it's rigged, and you just couldn't get the ball inside of it. That's what it seemed like. I mean, the defenses looked better, and I think that was more of just how the Knicks play almost every night or what they aim to play every night. But I just think we upped our intensity in defense, and it was just a string of bad luck for both teams, and they just couldn't score. Another struggling day for Tobias, worth noting. Our highest point scorer, Oubre, was 6 of 19. What was that off topic? It's all pretty on topic.
Yeah, I'm just saying, had to stick a fork in there whenever you can.
Well, the fork's already in there, Eric. We're just twisting it every time we talk about him at this point. The fork's in there. I mean, every game without MB it puts more of a focus on every guy to step up and do more. He was aggressive on the boards, which I like. He had 12 rebounds. He had more rebounds than points in this game, which I like to see how many times he's done that. The Sixers, actually, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And Oubre 18 and 10. I can't complain about that. He didn't shoot well, but he was aggressive. Someone has to be aggressive. Without Maxey out there taking 25, 28 shots a game, someone's got to be out there taking shots that aren't the best ones sometimes. Someone's got to just take out your best scorers just got to shoot a little more, right?
Yeah.
Campaign was just really off. You could just tell he was trying to get in rhythm all night. 3 of 13, 1 of 6 from 3. So yeah, I mean, it was just it was a rough day. It was a really rough day for both teams, and I'm just happy to get the hell out of there with a win.
Yeah, then we got the rematch tonight, so we'll get the game picks later. But do you guys sense? I mean, I know there's a little bit of a tussle towards the end of that game. Do you sense a potential of a kind of a rivalry between the two teams with after what happened at the end of that game? Like, could you see kind of more of a scrappy game tonight because of how that game ended on Sunday?
Yeah, but I don't necessarily. I think that may kind of draw some more personal things between particular players. But I think if you're looking for the history of the rivalry, I think that's always of emphasis because, one, you go back, if you're a longtime fan, you can go back as long as you've been a fan and there's been friction. But I think what separates maybe this rivalry from maybe some of the other ones, even Philly-Boston, is because it's so close. A lot of people take the train and come up that day and leave. And you know what I'm saying? So you have so many fans from the other team at the arena. So it's always a little hostile from that standpoint.
Yeah, it really felt like 90s-ish, right? Like with the big
that particular to me, that particular matchup always feels that way. Like it always feels like it's personal from not just from the player standpoint, but even from the fan standpoint. So, and I don't think that's going to change.
And I'm glad DiVincenzo didn't get kicked out because I don't think I actually hate all the constant reviews on the every play. It's like, oh man, like stop slowing the game down. But based on how they do review and they judge these games, he should have been booted. I mean, tackling someone down from below the knee, I mean, that gets you a penalty in football. Like he was at his knee, like trying to bring him down to the ground. It's like, yo, dude, that's dangerous stuff. So I didn't like that. I'm surprised they didn't throw him out based on that. But then again, I'm also surprised they didn't give Oubre a harder foul for that because he did swing down and nail him on the top of the head. And that usually is just a flagrant no matter what. I'm surprised they didn't give it to him after reviewing it.
Or Hardenstein with a tabletop.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think it's certain rules for certain things, the actions that you do, and sometimes they don't, I don't think they really want to kick guys out and do it, but sometimes when the rules, you have, like I said, you have the rules, and those rules are very clear. When something's very clear, it's easy, but when it's not, you got that gray area, and sometimes they just kind of make a decision and then kind of reevaluate it later.
Yeah. I don't like seeing guys get kicked out. I want see him play, but my whole thing is with NFL, NBA, and all of it. Just be consistent. That's all.
Yeah. So in this game, I thought it was something interesting when the starting 5 came out and saw that Buddy Hield was not in the starting lineup. I thought was pretty interesting because he's pretty much been in the starting 5 since he's come over. I think this is his first game, the day after the trade. But in this game, he came off the bench. It was pretty effective. 4 for 6 from 3, 16 points. Do you guys see this Buddy coming off the bench as a long-term move, or do you feel like this will change when Embiid comes back to the lineup?
I mean, to be honest with you, I could see it going either way. Starting or coming off the bench. I think that's the one thing that Buddy has been able to establish in his career is that he's able to do both and have effectiveness in both ways. So I really think it'll come down to having our whole roster and kind of seeing how it fits. Until we have that, we don't really know what kind of works best. Like we're really guessing. So I think when hopefully Joel and everyone else comes back, you'll be able to kind of get a quick glimpse and make a quick decision to how you want this to look going forward and into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Uber. I think Heald was. It doesn't surprise me, and I think what they should do game to game, matchup by matchup, however they see fit, they should just do it. Don't get attached to bench, starter, and Heald's new to the team, so I don't think it's different than being. Correct me if I'm wrong, Eric. A guy who's kind of new to a team, being kind of going from the bench starter. It's different than a guy who's well established on a team and then gets demoted from like starter to like bench, right? Because they're still trying to like figure out alignment
I think more than anything, I think that it's tough either way. The one benefit that we have with Hill is that he's been successful both ways. So it's more in this particular situation is more the person. Because of who he is, what he's able to do and bring to the game. I see that he can make it work both ways. So to me, the decision will come down not necessarily for Buddy, but what's best for the team, because he's going to do what he does, I believe, starting or being a reserve.
But I think Buddy, the player, and this team is just perfectly suited for when Embiid comes back, though. So, like, I think Buddy's minutes will go up. I think probably start. Even if he doesn't, I think he'll play a lot of minutes with Embiid. For the spacing.
You'll have him. He'll probably have less playmaking when Joel and Maxey are out there. You'll see more catch and shoot. You'll see more flare screens and different kind of where the defense is doubling or kind of shading towards those guys. You'll see more action like that for him.
Yeah, I just think his game's so perfect for the Embiid version of this lineup. Not so much without it, because also you mentioned offensively, but defensively, Hield is given a lot of effort, but he hasn't been known throughout his career as a good defender. I think he needs someone like Embiid behind him, kind of making up for some of those misses. So that will also be one thing that we don't have to worry about as much once you have him back in the lineup too. Your all defensive center.
Yeah. So do you anticipate a continuation of this like fine tuning the starting five until we get all of our guys back? You think they might just continue to experiment with starting fives, Eric?
I can see them experiment with one or two guys, but I think for the most part they're Bamba. I think that I can see them starting him and keeping Paul in his same role, unless you play a particular team where that's not a good fit. And then Kelly's deserving to start. Batum kind of deserving to start. You got Maxey. You got to decide what you're going to do with Kyle, and what kind of role you want with him. So, in some ways, Kyle could be a better starter than reserve because you do have Cam. So it's a decision. And then when Melton comes back, then what are you going to do? So it's obviously some guys aren't going to play or aren't going to play as much. So that's why I'm saying that you can kind of, in this particular time, you try to win the game and do whatever you got to do to win the game. And then when all your pieces are in, you can kind of mesh into your starting unit and the key reserves that are going to play. But right now, we don't have the consistency of knowing which 8 guys are going to be there for sure each game.
Yeah. It'll be a good problem to have when everyone's back. I mean, hopefully I'm down, man, to keep whatever Melton's timeline is, add like 2 weeks to it and just get him right. Because coming back, re-injuring your back, being out another like 2-3 weeks, just like before a playoff run, just like at this point, we have decent guard depth. So just stay out until you're right, in my opinion, especially if it's a lingering thing. But yeah, I think we're going to see a constant different lineups every night, depending on matchup. But Bamba, 20 minutes, 1 rebound. That can't. I mean, that's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, a couple weeks ago, I guess it was before the trade deadline, we talked about potential of a big. And then last week, I think it was Friday or I think it was Saturday, it was reported that the Sixers were going to work out Kai Jones. We talked about Kai Jones before. And back a month ago, you said essentially that you don't think this is the right team for him because there's so many moving parts, so many moving pieces with this team that you don't think that's like would be a good team for him. What do you make of it now, especially knowing that like we're kind of seeing that we're kind of getting a lack of consistency in play from that 5 position. I mean, what do you think about potential of bringing him in now?
I think right now with injuries being an issue, you should be open to receiving anyone that can benefit your team.
Yeah.
So that's where it's different. The level of injuries and the level of consistency with injuries, you should be open to, like I say, bringing in a guy that and seeing how much or if he can impact your team, whether it be in practice or games or energy or whatever it could be. So I think you have to be open to any move right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, 1 rebound in 20 minutes. Yeah. I'll take any help at the big position we can get.
Yeah. We bring Kai Jones, and we have Kai Jones and Mbamba, both former Texas Longhorns.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Before we get to game prediction, I wanted to have one question about the game itself tonight. We're getting Maxey back from the concussion. OG's coming back from the elbow, right? Elbow problem? That's what it was? Elbow? Shoulder?
I think it was shoulder.
The shoulder?
I thought it was elbow.
The elbow. Yeah, elbow.
Elbow, yeah.
Obviously, Anunoby's been out a lot longer, but Maxey a concussion. We see guys kind of like slowly start when they come back from that kind of thing. Who do you think is going to have just more growing pains coming back from that kind of thing? Anunoby or Maxey?
Well, I think Anunoby would, because he's been out so much longer, and it's still relatively a new team for him.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't really get acclimated when he came.
So I think Maxey has such a prominent role that his role is more defined, that he's going to come and try to make plays and try to score. But that being said, I think it'll be tougher on the New York, but he's also asked to do less. So,
Anunoby, you mean?
Yes, and that's where it could benefit him because
Yep.
he's asked to do less and his responsibilities are
Yes.
lower. So in some ways, it could be better for him because of that.
Yeah. And he's been out for a while, right? What's he been like? He's been out for like six to 8 weeks, hasn't he? He's been out for a long time.
Yeah, January 27th.
Yeah, that's a while.
It's a long time.
But yeah, just not being full speed playing, even though it's not like a lower body injury, it's upper body. Still, though, I mean, you just don't, I'm not playing in the game like that's a little different than gearing up for it.
Yeah. So with that, got game picks. So this game will be featured on TNT tonight. Sixers at New York, rematch from Sunday. The Sixers, I think it opened up as 5-point underdogs. I believe now it's 6.5 points underdogs against New York. So 2 questions. Who do you think wins this game, covers the spread? And do you think this game will be a lot more high scoring than it was on Sunday?
I do think it'll be more scoring. A lot more, I'm not sure. But it will be more.
Both teams under 100?
At least one gets 100.
Okay.
But I can't see both teams getting over 100. Because I still think without Randall, New York is going to play slower. So I just still think they're going to play slower. I say it's tough to beat New York back-to-back at home. I say we don't win, but we cover. Close game. Free throws win it in the game at the end of the game.
The total's 208.5. Man, they want you to take the under so bad in that, don't they?
Yeah.
They want you to take the under. They're begging you to take the under. If they want you to take the over, They could have made that a little lower to entice you on that.
Yeah.
208 screams, hey, these teams scored like 40 less than this last game. Come on.
Yeah.
I took over 200.5 for tonight.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. I think they're gonna win. Knicks are gonna win. I think it's gonna be so close to that spread. So it started at 5. It's at 6.5 now. I say we cover. I say we lose by like 6. I think we're right on the dot on that one. I don't think we get blown out. And, they should come out a lot harder after that because that was at home. That wasn't just a game where we beat them and punched them in the mouth. We did it at home, and it was the last game we played. So it's a lot of things. There's a reason. I'm not surprised that it's going New York's direction from 5 to 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we'll still keep it close.
Yeah, and it's 2-1 right now. So if we win this game, it's 2-2 on the season series. It's the last game of the season series. So
yeah.
So before we meet again, we have Thursday night. We will be traveling to Milwaukee to play against the Bucks. The line is not out yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be around like 7.5 to 9 points. So let's say the spread is 9 for this game on Thursday against the Bucks. Who do you have in that one?
The Bucks will win it, but we'll cover on that one too. That'll be a close game. That game, as long as Doc is there, is going to be personal.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll keep it. I think we'll keep it close most of the game. Now it comes down to whether they blow it open double digits towards the end. I think we keep it single digits. I'm with that too. I think it's a loss. It sucks to say we're going to lose 2 in a row right now, but we're facing.
Hopefully we're wrong.
Yeah.
It's hard to win road games. Like that's why that game Sunday was such a big deal.
I know
road games against the teams you're fighting for position against.
It really was, and any game we steal without Maxey and Embiid's, I mean, it's a gift. So it's our first one of the year without them. So I'm hoping we could just go 1 out of 2 of these. It'd be awesome. Everything's just a bonus at this point.
Yeah.
Well, our last 2 wins, Dallas and New York, both away. And so, and we probably both thought we were going to lose both those games, and we come out and win when the odds are against us. So anything can happen, man.
I mean, we have a pretty good away. I mean, we're 17-13 away.
Yeah.
So I'd have to look and see that it's pretty
17-13. So that means we're 19-15 home.
Yep, that's right. So yeah, we're one of the better away teams in general. So we have a pretty good away record. That bodes well for probably not having home court in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to find the positive somewhere, right?
I hope so. New season, but we'll see.
Yep, that's what we're about, finding the silver linings. All right, guys. Well, that does it for us. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed Conference Championship Week. And also, of course, NFL offseason beginning this week, too. So lots of good things going right now.
Yep, it's working. It's working.
Yep. All right, fellas.
Take it easy. All right, take it easy.
Guys.